Well, today I'm back out for a relaxation walk. It's not supposed to be a work day, but I do have my saws and trimming gear with me should I need it. I was off down that way there the other week, and today I'm going around that big green mountain over there. I run through the trees that you can't quite see, and I'll go around the bottom of there today. The Trail Less Taken, we'll call this one, and it starts going over that nice, perfectly positioned bridge over there. Yeah. If you come up here in about a month, 2 months time, you can actually walk across this river. There's a crossing a little bit further down. You can walk across this river without too much trouble, but at the moment it's still halfway up to your knees, so I don't want to start the trail with wet feet. So I will continue down that way, over the bridge, and then I have to decide whether to go left or right. We'll see when I get there. As I've said on several occasions, every time I come here I have to get this picture of the bridge. Yeah, I have a picture of my two guys still on the end of this bridge from many years ago. Unfortunately they don't come out to the mountains. Yeah, they should. It's an amazing place we live. Right. So the Trail Less Taken starts on a very well taken piece of bridge. There's probably more people cross this bridge than ever use the trails. People just come across here to the other side and spend the day playing in the water and then come back over again. I often wondered how many people have walked across this bridge. It's absolutely perfectly placed bridge. And I have to say, there's amazing views as well. Look at that. Yeah, that over there, that's roughly where I'm going actually. That mountain, the one over on that side, that there is Glasgow, and then you've got Coventry Outlaw. The one there with the band on the top of it, and that's Banded Peak. Where I'm going is I'm going to go up this valley, around the bottom of this green mountain in front here, this one. I'm going to go around the back of there, and then up through that valley and around the back. Now, because of where the sun is, on the way back, if you go around anti-clockwise, quite often you can get the sun all the way on your back, all the way up there. So what I might do is go around clockwise. I'm going to be a rebel, an absolute rebel, and I'm going to go around this trail the opposite way around than what I normally go. Look at me, Mr. Decisive. Yeah. Yes, so what I will do is normally I go that way, and today I'm going this way. Isn't that a difference when the wind, as soon as you get out the trees there, eh? Wow. Right, so there's the bridge. Amazing bridge. Whoever you were, Mr. Harold Chapman, I very much appreciate your bridge. That is very much appreciated. Right, on I go. That's a little detour around. That's where I was just now, that little gap over there. Like I say, later in the year, and the water's right there, and you can actually walk right across there. I've come across there in normal boots before now, and not even had to take my boots off. Right, so this part here, this is the top of a trail that, if you follow it down and all the way around, it'll take you all the way down to Tombstone. And it's oh, we got some deer up here right in front of me in the trees. I can see the white tail going through there. Yeah, if you follow this all the way around, 40 kilometers I think it is, all the way around, it'll take you right down this side of the range, then back up the other side, because the either side is the Elbow River, right, because it kind of splits and goes around. Yeah, nice whitetail just went off up through the trees there. Right, this first part of it, normally I come back this way, and the reason I'm not today is because this piece of trail in a minute you'll see heads pretty much dead straight north-south, and in the heat of the midday you've got the sun on your back all the way up here. So today I've decided to come this way. I'm going to be a rebel, go around clockwise. Yeah, live dangerously, go around clockwise. Yeah. This is a nice trail. Like I say, I call this the trail, little used. It's people don't really know it's there. It is a very nice little walk around. There are no stunning views for the Instagram brigade. There's a couple of nice views, but there's no stunning views. But however, it is a very nice walk. The first part of which, unfortunately, is down a very boring fire road, so I shall kick it up a notch and get going. that's the way I just came. The sun's over there, and this is where I'm going. Now on this piece of trail there are several up and downs. This first bit is a very boring fire road. It's a bit of a pain, however it does get you to where you need to go pretty quick. So either way, if you go around this mountain, you either have to do this later in the day with the sun on your back, and that's not very pleasant, or you can do it like I'm doing it. It's a bit cooler in the morning, a little bit of breeze too, not so much down here below the trees, but there is a nice breeze. If you're out in the open, there's a beautiful breeze. On the corner up here where I turn off the Banded Peak Mountain, I fully expect to get some breeze up through there. So yeah, I'll show you that turn off when I get there. You can see the mountains in the distance there. Very nice. Right, so I've come all the way along the fire road, and you'll get to a point where it turns a corner and starts going down a hill. You can see it starting to open up. Where I want to go is that way. So this is why I call this the path less travelled. So basically what you're going to do is head into the scrub here somewhere and head straight that way, and you'll see why in a minute. The horses come up through here quite a lot, so you can usually follow the piles of horse crap up through here. Yeah. We want to head straight across to the washout, as I call it. You'll see why it's called that in a mo. In the floods of 2013, this got really butchered up in here. Yeah, this was a little tiny creek. Is it called Glasgow Creek? One of them up here is called Glasgow Creek. Not sure if this one is or the next one I'm going to follow up round. But it was a tiny little creek. And then we had the floods of 2013, and it turned into anything but a tiny little creek. You can see it in the rocks out there in front of me. Right. You just head over that way and show you. Right, this was a tiny little creek, and this is at the bottom of where I'm at. Is the bottom of Banded Peak Mountain. That's just over there. So this was a tiny little creek, washed out. The Elbow River is just down the bottom there. Now if you follow that trail around the fire road, it takes you down across the bottom and way off down the valley down that way. I'm not going that way. I'm heading off up this creek, or the creek bed now. There probably is still water flowing through here, but it's under the rock now. So I'm going to head that way out towards Banded Peak Mountain. Now when you get to here in the creek bed, you can go up and over that piece of hill. The horses quite often do. They go over there and then down the other side. I'm not going to. I'm going to go along here because I know I can cut in the forest there a little bit on that side. This green mountain that you see here, this is the one I'm going round. So yeah, I will continue up the valley a little way. Right, as you follow up the creek bed, eventually you'll see this like flattish area of trees on your right hand side as you're heading up the valley. And if you head in, you'll find a very well trodden trail. Well, I say well trodden. It's well trodden if you know what you look for. This is the horse trail. It's where the horse parties come hopefully. Horse track. Yeah, that's one good thing about the horses. So they would probably come up through that. One good thing about the horses, they leave a pretty good easy trail to follow. Yeah, they crush it in there pretty good too. We're going to go that way. I'm just going to show you on the corner here. That's where I'm going to go. That's that way in a minute. I'm just going to show you something on the corner here. Right, that mountain right in front of me there, up on the top there. See that band of rock across there? If you look out from Calgary, you see a little tiny pointed mountain with a little tiny black stripe across the top of it. Banded Peak, that's that one up there. You can walk all the way up this valley. I have been up that valley. It used to be a nice trail up through there. It but got washed out, as you can see. This is all that's left of it. Yeah, it used to be a nice little creek up through there. Not so much now. All the banks got on the other side got washed down. But if you look in the valley here, see all the green trees, new pine trees, new poplars, loads and loads of ground cover, lots of ground cover all coming in here. Nature reclaims it. It seems like a devastating, you know, end of the world event when you get something like that happen, but This is the trail. Comes down through there, off over here, and then heads up this way. This is the trail that you need to find. Yeah, that's why I call it the path less travelled. Fortunately, the horses are very good at making a nice trail. Oh, this is so soft to walk on. Oh, thank you, horses. Yeah. If you do the backcountry horse trips out this way, they quite often bring people up through here. Yeah. They go a different route at the far end. They go right down to the river. I don't. I cut across, and I'll show you where that is when I get there. Yeah. That up through there, that's Bandy Peak. That little tiny stripe you see, that's probably 300 or 400 feet of vertical rock right there along the top. Yeah. Now a friend of mine who's a mountain climber tells me that you can somehow, you'd want to be a climber because you ain't going to do this by foot, you can go up this valley and up along that ridge to gain, because you've got the band on this side of Bandy Peak, but there isn't on the other side. It's more of a shaly slope. So a friend of mine tells me you can actually get up there, but if you were a very avid mountain climber, I would think maybe you could, but when you're not, don't try that. Yeah, that might not be good. Right, so I'm going to continue this way. I'm facing roughly west now, just in case anybody's interested. Now that is about the best view you get of Banded Peak along here. Yeah, that little stripe, not so small, is it? I have been right up this valley, but you'll eventually get to the point where you're staring upwards so high that you can't really see the stripe on the top of the mountain. But that is Banded Peak Mountain, and my trail is that way. Right, I've just come that way. I've got a very nice breeze now. I thought I would have once I got out of the trees and got up into this valley. This valley faces east west roughly, and oh, that feels so nice. Oh, that's good. I'm just stopping to have a break, little drink of water, soak in the quiet. This is why I like the trails like this. If you're looking for a well manicured, easy to follow trail with a yellow line down the middle, this is not for you. No. If you're looking for somewhere just to wander off, nice bit of peace and quiet, this is why I call this the trail less travelled. To me, this is still tourist country. This is not somewhere I come often. This is a relaxation day. Been a very busy week. Yeah. So sometimes you just need to come out in the mountains, wander along, and basically do bugger all, other than listen to the wind in the trees. Yeah. Enjoy some of the views. There are little bits of view. Yeah. I'm climbing up away from the creek here a little bit now, or what was the creek. I'm interested to see the other side of here. I'm going to start turning round in the forest here in a minute. I'm heading west roughly, and I'm going to start heading roughly around to the north in a moment. Right. Look at this. Yeah. I can't remember what that mountain's called. Yeah. I know the other side of that mountain down in the valley, there's a nice little campground down in there, if you know where to find it. Yeah. But for me, my trail continues that way. So much for not doing any work. I just cleared a tree off the trail there. It's only about 3-4 inches through. So it was a co-dominant tree, it's split down the middle. Yeah. Right, well, it's out the way now. As you come along here, you'll find yourself starting to swing around to the right as you come up here. I'm going around clockwise. Get off, mosquito. There is a bit of a trail goes up over the top of the hill here. It's a bit of a goat trail, and it brings you out in a very precarious rock band. So not a good place to be. I'll see if I can show you the rock band when I go up past it later. But for now, this is my trail. Like I say, if you're one of these people that likes a well manicured trail with 500 people on it a day, going to a magic Instagram spot, this is not your trail. This is a plod through the mountains. Had some horses up here recently, redistributing nutrients. Vitally important for the forest. Yeah, there is a trail you can go up over the top of the mountain there, but it's rough. And, I think the only thing that use it is goats. Yeah. Right. So this is my idea of a walk in the forest. Yeah. Let's get that one off the trail. That's an ankle buster for a horse. Don't want that. And that one. Get off. There we go. Now off on this corner up here somewhere, off to my left, goes that way somewhere. Yeah, you can head down basically anywhere that I'm pointing the camera that way. You can head that way, follow the creek all the way up to the bottom of Bandy Peak Mountain. Personally, it's pretty rough up in there. Like I say, used to be trail up in there that looked like this. However, not so much now. To my knowledge, I didn't never find any of it when I went up there. Couldn't find any. Right, I'm gaining a bit of elevation, so I'm going to stop for a photography break, aka have a rest. Back in a moment. Right, that's the way I've come, which was basically east. Bandy Peak Mountain is over through the trees. This is the turn off I was telling you. You can head down here, down the bank here, up and over and through, and that'll bring you out into the creek, and then you can either walk up or down, whichever way suits you. This trail here now is swinging round to the north, and there's a large meadow up in here. It's a bit scrubby. I have seen bear up in there before now, so you'll see me shouting a lot in a minute. So off to this side we have Bandy Peak, Outlaw, Coventry and Glasgow. You'll see a much better view of Glasgow a bit further on, and I'm heading north. Alright, just come that way. As you can see, it's basically all you're doing is through here, just following whichever way the horses went. It's fairly straightforward, but I'm going to be coming out into that clearing here in a minute. There's a couple of small bits of stuff here I want to just clear off. I'm going to be coming out into the clearing here in a minute, and should get a nicer view. Oh, listen to that wind. Oh, that's what makes it magic, isn't it? Love that sound. Literally stood in the middle of this, listening to that. Don't get no better. See, this is a Dave trail. This is much nicer. Right, on I go. Right, so I've just come up through the forest on the trail that you never meet anybody, and I met this gentleman. Hello. And he is actually heading up the traverse that I was telling you about just now. It goes up over the top. You've got to be pretty good to get up over that way, so hats off to you, mate. And that's actually where he's heading now, so that's actually pretty cool. Right, back out in the valley. That chap over there, his name's Omar. He's just heading off up. He's going up Glasgow Mountain, so he's going to start the Glasgow end and go up over the peak there. It's nice to bump into somebody that navigates the way I do, and off he goes, straight up through the trees. He saw this trail and followed it along, but he needs to go up through that way, up along the ridge, up over the top of there and up Glasgow. Right, so this is what I call the meadow. I have seen bear down in here before, but he's just come up through here, so that's not too bad. But we'll get a nice view of Nahahi Ridge here in a minute. So, well, I'll be. To my knowledge, other than people on horses, I think he's actually the first person that I've ever actually met up in here. Yeah. You don't see too many people up here, I can tell you. That's why I call it the path less travelled. Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to head up the ridge. There's Nahahi down through there. That'll be popular today. It's a Saturday and the sun's out. That'll be like a zoo up there. You can keep that crap. It's nice though, isn't it? I mean, it looks good, but not my kettle of fish. I am talking down through here because this willowy crap is getting up there in height. Now the ridge I was telling you about earlier on goes up along the top of there, and it gets very rocky, so it's not somewhere I recommend. Yeah, look at that, you wouldn't even know he was there now, and he's heading off up over the top and straight up. Once I get up to the top of the trail, a bit further up, I will show you where he's going. It's a new rock. I don't remember that rock. Don't remember that rock at all. Yeah. He said he was quite surprised to find such a good trail out here. It's because of the horse people. He didn't realise that this was mostly a horse trail. Yeah. This soil underneath here, it's like sand. There's places along here where it's like walking along the beach. It is getting grown in now with the willows and stuff. Yeah. It's another reason why I come and walk these trails. Where you're heading, by the way, is straight through that gap over at the far end. If you come into here and you're not sure where you're going, yeah, straight through the gap at the far end. Some of these willows, this time of the day, not too bad. Always make some noise though, because you don't know what's feeding in here. There could be bears in here, could be cubs in here, could be cats in here. You never know. Yeah. Right. Always make some noise. Yes. Ah. Omar, eh? Yeah. I used to work with a guy called Omar. Super nice guy. Really nice guy. Yeah. But, the Omar I know was from Iraq. Very nice guy. Always interesting to get the other side of the coin. You talk to Omar about Iraq and Saddam Hussein and what have you, get a very different story about what you see most of the time. Right. There used to be like a little sandy wallow at the end here somewhere. Where's that gone? Unless it's overgrown, could well have done. But, yeah, this piece has grown up quite a lot. That's the other reason why I walk them. It just keeps the trails walked. Yeah, yeah, this bit's very sandy. Yeah, he's heading. Okay, yeah, now I see where he's going. So he's going to go up there through those trees. I thought he was going to go up that ridge and the far ridge there and along straight to Banded, but I think he's actually going up Glasgow first. He's going to go up that ridge there that you can see, up along the top, up onto the top of that one, and along the top and do the peaks, what's called the 4 peaks. So that's where he's heading. Yeah, I thought he was going to go up the Banded route. I thought, oh, that'd be pretty adventurous, but he's going to go up the Glasgow route. It takes you to the same place. It's just less brutal. Still brutal in my book. I mean, the guy's a lot fitter than I am, I suspect. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, this is the squishy bit. Yeah, it's like walking on squishy sand. Look at it. I call this the wallows along here. Look at it. Squish, squish. Yeah. This is all looks like fine silt. Yeah. It's like sand. It's literally just like sand. Look at it. Yeah. See? It's like sand. Yes, I have nicknames for places, and this is the wallows. Yeah. Right, I will continue down through here. Basically what you're going to do is I'm basically heading north now. The really good view of Nahar here has vanished. Yeah. Now, if you look at all this debris, rock debris and everything over on this side, that was also caused by the floods in 2013. So I can't even imagine the amount of water that was coming down through here at that time. It must be pretty insane. Right, I'm going to continue down the valley a bit and I'll show you where I'm going to turn off. Yes, as you come down through this piece of the valley, you'll notice that that up there, that's Banded Peak. You see all this river rubble? This was all flowing water in the floods. There is still a creek under here, and if you find the right spots and you sit real quiet, you can actually hear it. And eventually, as it all silts up, the river will come back to the surface. Just nature's way of doing things, eh? Yeah. Looks like it's gone forever. I can assure you it hasn't. Whoop. Right, a little ways further down the valley here, I'm going to turn off and I'll show you where that is. Yeah. All these debris piles off to my side. Absolutely amazing. The creek that runs through here normally was about 4 or 5 feet wide. That was it. Widest point, this part of the creek up in here, 4 or 5 foot, that was about it. But in the floods, we are talking several 100 feet wide here. Yeah. See all the rock debris here? This rock debris. This is all just rubble. It was washed out. Yeah, absolutely insane amounts of water. I must admit, this piece of the trail up here has gotten a lot better with all the horse use. Some people see the horse brigade as a pain in the arse. Sometimes they can be, but 99.9% of the time, I can tell you now that most of the trails we have, and in the condition that we have them, they're down to the horse people. It's, you put 10 or 12 horses up through here, you end up with a very obvious trail very, very quickly. Yeah. And they also maintain the trails, like, because this is their bread and butter. This is where they bring people out. You know, this is their adventure days where people come out, and a little bit of redistribution of nutrients there. They bring people out, and this is what people want to do. Look at all this river rubble. In the floods, this was all chewed up and messed up. Nature working its magic. Some of these rocks, I mean, if you pick these rocks up, you know, you need two hands to pick them up. There's Nahahi Ridge through the distance. I am going to go down past the rock band here, and once I'm past the rock band, I will show you where we turn off. Right, I'm going to head down that way. Well, I said it was a relaxation day, no work, but that one was in the way. Whew. That's some hard bloody wood, that is. Easy peasy with a chainsaw. It's out the way now. Another one done. Have a drink of water and sit down. In actual fact, I'm going to sit on the log I just cut, have a drink of water, and then head on my way, which is down that way. Right, that's the way I've just come. That's facing south roughly. This here I call Cougar Corner by this rock. I was up here once in the winter. I've never actually seen an actual cougar here. I'm sure they've seen me, but I was up here once in the winter. The snow was on the ground, and I did find cougar track down in here, so I call this Cougar Corner. Yeah, not actually seen an actual cougar, but they tend to see you. You don't tend to see them. Yeah, yeah. Nahahi in the distance there. That a nice view. That's a great looking mountain, isn't it? I don't care what anybody says. I can see why so many people want to climb it. When you go up there, you go past that big green meadow that you can see there, and then you get up onto the that rock band piece that you can see. There's one corner there that's a bit dodgy, and they do have like a chain link fence along there, like a wire piece on some posts there, just stop you falling off the edge. It's actually quite sharp. So you go up there and you follow that ridge and all the way up. That there, the other week when I was talking in my video, I was talking about the shale corner, the saddly piece. That's that yellowy orangey colour piece that you can see there. Yeah, that wind was so bloody strong it nearly blew me off there. Right, I'm going to continue down here. As soon as I get to my turn off, I'll show you where that is. Right, so I've just come down through that way, and you'll get to this point. Now this is an important turn off. If you go that way, you turn left, that will take you down what I call the horse trail down to the Elbow River, but it can sit a little wet in the bottom of there, so be warned if you go that way. Now you'll see there's a little pile of rocks and some stuff here on the corner. There was a little bit of flagging here once, but this turn off here, if you follow this, you're then going to go up a little bank up the other side, and that will take you up what's called 44B. So when you find this little pile of rocks, I'm just going to rebuild that pile of rocks, make it a bit more obvious, and this is your turn off. That way is 44B, that way takes you down to the Elbow River. Right, one slightly rebuilt pile of rocks. So let's just chuck that other one on there. There we go. Right, so I'm going to turn right here. Like I say, if you go left, that will take you down to what's the name there? The Elbow River. But it can sit wet in that corner, and that's the way the horses tend to go. So I prefer to come this way because there's a nice little bit up here that takes you up and over. Having said that, I just saw some horse crap. So, but there are wild horses in here too. So yeah, one of the problems with these trails up through here is there are so many wild horses up through here, and they make trails everywhere. So you look at it, you think, oh yeah, that's a good trail, let's go that way. Nah, you have to kind of, here it is, down through here. Somebody's put a blaze on the tree there, look. Yeah. Hey! A couple of years ago, I put some of my tape in the trees here, and it's still there. Well done. Right, so you're going to go across here, up the bank. This bank looks really steep, and that's because it is. Yeah, but it's not as steep as you might think it is. It doesn't go on for as long as you think it does. So just look at it that way. This takes you up to somewhere that people that know me will know. This is the hill that goes up to what I call Cup of Tea Corner. So I will get up there and show you where that is. So I've just come up that slope. It's short but steep. There's a little bit of wild flagging on the tree here. Somebody has built a pile of rocks, because there is a trail that looks like it goes straight on. Oh, somebody's put a tree stump there too, well done. Yeah. That people would come up here and they'd go off up that way. Don't do that because it takes you up onto the rock. So when you get to here, you have to go down that slope there. Right. So I've just come up there. It's fairly steep, but it's nice. You get nice views from up here. This actually makes, from here back actually, it's pretty much downhill to where I'm going. So that's always a nice thought when you get to here. So anybody that knows me will know that this corner up here I refer to as Cup of Tea Corner. Now today, unfortunately, I don't have any tea with me. Now this is Cup of Tea Corner, and when you're heading back you're going to go basically that way. But this is Cup of Tea Corner, so I usually sit around here with this old tree stump. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sit here, have not a cup of tea, because I didn't bring any bloody tea. But, although this is Cup of Tea Corner, I am fraudulently using this corner for drinking water. So I'm going to set this camera up here whilst I have a cup of tea, or sorry, a drink of water on Cup of Tea Corner. That guy I was just talking to, he's going up that ridge over there, up along the top of that one and up over the peaks that way. So he is very welcome to that. That's a lot of up. Right, I shall set this up and sit and have a rest. Right, lunch break is over. That guy that I was talking to earlier, he's going up there. He's on the top of that ridge. There's some darker clouds coming in, but this is the stuff that everybody forgets to do in life. Come out, sit on a place like this, Cup of Tea Corner as I call it. Sit here, look at the mountains. There's some really good places. I think he went up that way, over there. I think I will have a drink of water. Would be better with tea. Unfortunately, I don't have any tea with me. I will swap out my battery in that in a minute. Yes, this is the stuff that people forget to do in life. I do need to swap out this battery because the battery's nearly done. Let's put those down there. Right, that's a view of Banded Peak that most people don't get to see. Yeah, looks a lot different from here, doesn't it? From Calgary it just looks like a little pointy mountain. Yeah, from here I can assure you it's nothing, it's certainly not little. Yeah, so somewhere up there, my guess is by now that guy should be up, going up along that rock there somewhere. I have been watching while I was sitting there having a rest, see if I could see any trace of him, but you'd need a good pair of binoculars to spot him up there. Let me tell you, that's a lot bigger than it looks. Hats off to him for going up there, I can tell you. If I'm sitting here, listen to the wind, listen to that. Let's go over this way a little bit. An amazing sound. It's one of the best sounds ever, that is. Sitting in the forest listening to the wind in the trees. The aspens down there, there's a few aspens down in the bottom there, I can see them. And they tell you when the wind's coming first. Just watch the aspens. Slightest little breeze, them things move. Amazing, isn't it? What a great spot. Yeah. Bandit is quite the mountain. Looking at it from here, I don't know whether you could go up this side, that rock band. You might get cliffed out by that rock band. There's a couple of rock bands I can see up there. But I know from the other side, up over that way you can go. And from the back side of that mountain, it's actually fairly, it's not, hasn't got the big rock bands on it. It's fairly flattish. On the other side there, there's a lot of scree, yeah. But I have been looking along the top of that mountain to see if I can see that guy. So you're up there somewhere, Omar. Wherever you are, I'm really not sure, but you're up there somewhere. Yeah. Be almost impossible to spot somebody from here, unless they were stood up at the top waving a flag or something. Right, so I'm going to head out of here. I just have to swap this battery out. So when you're doing this trail, I'll call the trail less travelled, you will come up the valley over there. You'll come up that steep slope, and it's only short. It's not as bad as I made it out to be. It's not as steep as you might think. So you'll come up the slope over there, and you're going to come along this ridge. You get a really nice view on this corner, and then the way back is that way. Now the good news is that is almost a dead straight line. It goes up and down a little bit, but the majority is heading downhill, and that will take you all the way back down to the river. And then when I get back down to the river, I'll show you, because this piece of the trail is pretty much just a nondescript trail down through there. So I will swap out this battery and do some more later. So this is a prime example of how cut ends become good trail markers. I cut these out of here oh, probably 2-3 years ago, but it makes for a very easy to spot trail. Even in the winter, you know, you've got a foot of snow on the ground, you can still spot those pieces. Okay, this trail down through here, if you look at it in the Kananaskis guides, this is trail 44B, and is it 44B or 44A? It's 44 something. Yeah. Either way, it's the dead straight one. Yeah. If you look at the 44s, you'll see that one is a dead straight line. It's basically follows a cut line, and that's exactly what this is. That's why this one is such an easy one to follow. The only thing that's a little bit of a pain with this trail, and I'll show you at the far end, excuse me, I will show you at the far end, is the start of this trail. Because as you come up into that little piece of valley, which you'll see at the end here, there's a million little trails go off on the level ground. But that is not where you want to go, because that's all the horse trails. Oh, yeah, another tree down across there. I ain't moving that one. That, for a handsaw, hear that? That stuff's a pain in the rear end to cut, that it really is. So I ain't cutting that. Now if I had one of those little chainsaws, I would most definitely cut that. But that would take me about 15-20 minutes to cut that by hand. And that stuff is hard to cut. If that was a fresh green tree, it'd take me somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes to clear that up. But being old hardwood like that, it's easy double the time. Easy double the time. Yeah. Right, ones like this Lena sitting across here I can get rid of. So I will do that, and then I'll continue on my way. This shows you how quickly nature reclaims the forest. This log here, when I first started coming up here, was a good healthy log, and you could walk right across it. Look at it now, it's just mush. Yeah, that's how nature reclaims it. I have come through here by now, and this piece be pretty darn wet. Yes, nature's magic, eh? Yes, that was a good solid log. You could actually walk right across there as a bridge. It was perfect. Yeah. Still some good water flowing through there. That's good. Yeah, flowing downhill. If you follow that all the way down, that will take you down to the Elbow River. But I'm going this way. Yeah. Now this trail, although it is dead straight, it does undulate up and down a little bit. It does follow an old cut line. I can see it down through the trees there, but it does undulate quite a lot, as is the way with cut lines. They just go in a dead straight line. I don't give a crap. Yeah, so you'll find it does this a lot, up and down, up and down. However, coming back this way, there's a vast majority of it is down, so that's good. Right, I'll do some more. Right, I'm going to show you this bit, because this is where everybody goes wrong. They come down here and they see all these nice flat trails through there. It's human nature is to walk along the flat trails. To get to 44B, or whichever 44 it is, you actually turn off here and go that way and walk up through there. Don't cross this creek. If you get to here, you don't cross the creek. Now up here years ago, I did build a little bridge. Just threw a couple of logs across it. Oh, looks like they might still be there. Let's have a look. They're still there. Well, these are 10-footers, these were. But they came up here. Yeah, they're still there. Yeah, these two, I put these across here. These are 10-foots. Been there a while, they've been there, oh Christ, years now. 10 years, easy 10 years. That's one of the first little bridges I built out this way, that was. Yeah, been there 10 years, that. Yeah, and they were actually on a tree that was over here. I had to drag them a fair distance. So this is the, let me show you where the turn off is here. So, yeah, if you were going along following the river, you'd go that way and over that little bridge I made. If you're going to 44 A or B, whichever one it is, the cut line one, it goes that way. Right. And that tree I cut them off was down in here somewhere. Where was it? It's down on this side, because I had to drag them a fair distance. Yeah, it was down in here. It came down in here, and I thought, oh, that will make a nice bridge. And it did. I kid you not, that was like 10 years ago. Oh, there's the tree. Yep. That one there that's cut off. That's where I got the logs from to build that bridge. Yeah. Now from here backwards it's real easy. There's Nahahi up there. Basically what I'm just going to do is just walk along this side of the bank on the river and go from there. But, yeah, that's a nice walk round. I'll do some more in a bit. Let's do some directions here. That over there is Nahahi Ridge. That's all Romulus and Remus out there. That's where I was the other week, down that valley. That one up there, that's Glasgow. That's where that guy is. He'd be up there somewhere now. God knows where. I think he's going to come along there, and because there is a route that comes down this way. But you see how high I am above the river? See this piece here? This was all washed out in the floods. So it gives you an idea how high the water was here. Eh? Yeah. This piece down through here has changed quite a bit. Somebody's actually cut that big tree out, which was good. There's a small little bypass thing that went through the tree over this side somewhere. Where are we? Somewhere here it used to go through. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah. So right, now I've got a very nice easy flat walk all the way back along here. That there, that's Powder Face Mountain over there. Yeah, this is a nice walk through here. I've been down here early in the morning. You find a whole bunch of deer and that down in here. Loads of them. Yeah. It's always good. Right, so I'll do some more when I get back to the bridge, which is down there. You can see it in the distance. Right, that's where I'm going to head back to. So that's where I'm going. Just as another point of reference here, this green mountain here, this one you see here, that's the one I've just walked around. I think the last time I measured it, it was about 10-12 kilometers, something like that. It ain't far. It's a very easy walk really. That one over there, that's Forget Me Not Mountain. That's a nice ridge. You can follow that ridge all the way down to Sheep River Valley basically. Yeah. But this is nice along here. So I will put this away for now until I get to the bridge. Right, so I say about people on horses, just met a bunch of people there. They're not going around the route that I've just done. They're going across the creek further up and go around that way. Yeah, that's good. So I just bumped into some more people. They're going up the north ridge of Glasgow. They're going to go up this way and along the ridge and down there. So they should, somewhere along that top ridge, they should bump into Omar. So I said, if you see a guy in a red gear with a green pack, say hi. By my reckoning, they should bump into each other probably up on this end somewhere, because he seemed pretty fit. So I think he's going to be way up along the top of there by now. Yeah. Right, just met another couple heading up Glasgow. Right, this shows you how long it takes trees to rot around here if it's dry. This tree here used to be across the trail right there, and I cut that one off the trail probably 10 years ago, I should think. Good 10 years ago, and it still hasn't rotted away. Yeah. If they're touching the ground and they're wet, like that big log across that creek crossing I showed you, if they're wet, 5 years they're gone. You know, they literally disintegrate real fast. But if not, that's a bit of up. We've got some heavy cloud coming. Yeah. It's not a bad day for walk up Glasgow. It might be a bit windier up there than they think, that's for sure. At least they had packs on, yeah, which is good. When I see people head into places like that with no packs, I usually have something to say about it, but they seem pretty switched on. Right, now along here, this is, we call this lookout corner if you want. Nice corner, you get a good view from here. Yeah. Yes, call this lookout corner for obvious reasons. Nahi, Romulus Remus over there, Glasgow, Bandit Peak just poking out over the top of that one. Like I say, this green one here is the one that I just walked all the way around the bottom. Looks like a long way from here, doesn't it? But it's only takes you half a day or so. It's not that far, not really. Now if you're staying at the campgrounds over here, the other side of the river here, there's loads of campgrounds, really popular campgrounds. You can come up over the bridge, turn right, stay on the trail, come up the hill, and then you've got this nice little trail that goes down through there. That'll take you around. That's about a 2-kilometre loop, I guess. Yeah. Well, berries are coming on nice, eh? Bears will be snagging them later in the year. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so if you come across the bridge, turn right, come up to the lookout point, right behind you you'll see a trail that goes through. There's a big orange diamond there. Follow it down that trail. When you get to the bottom of that trail, turn left, and that will take you straight back round to the bridge. Right, which is down this way. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier in the video, I've no idea who this Mr. Harold Chapman was. I've crossed that bridge 100 times or more, easily 100 times or more. And it couldn't tell you how many times I've crossed that bridge. Yeah. This piece along there is a little bit rooty. It's a very pleasant walk around there. That piece I've just done, I don't know what the elevation gain is, I don't really care to be quite honest. But hasn't got too much up and it hasn't got too much down, so that's good in my book. Ooh, that wind's getting up. Yeah, I think once they get up the top of Glasgow, they're going to be hanging on to their hats up there, mate. Yeah. This is the only trouble with it. You think how windy it is down here. I can tell you now, up on the top of that ridge over there, windy as hell today. Yeah. This is one of the things that people don't usually plan for. They'll plan for like wet weather, they'll take their their waterproofs. They need to take a really good windproof jacket as well. Because I can tell you now, you get cold up there and that wind's biting through your clothes, that can get dangerous real fast. Yeah. Oh, listen to that water. Lots of people down there playing in the water, which is good. That's why I live here, you know. This is why I live in this part of the world. People often ask me, you know, why do I live here? This is why I live here. Look at it. Yeah. Why would you not live here? Right. So I'm going to head down, cross over the bridge, and I'll do some more when I get there. Right. So I'm almost back at the bridge. Just got this last little bit of uphill to go. And I'm back to one of my favourite pictures. Let's head up here. Don't know how many times I've taken this photo, but I'm going to do it again. Just because I can. Yeah. Right, that's the way I went this morning, down that way. This is where I come back to the bridge. Yeah. Lots of people coming over the bridge, so I shall turn this off. Right, not sure if that last bit of video came out. It's GoPro doing its usual thing. Right, all the people are off the bridge now, so I'll finish up this piece of video. Right, I think that's as far as I'm going to go with this video today. Thank you for coming along. I'll use that as my closeout shot. That was a very nice walk around. I think it's about 12 kilometres, and I will check when I get home and put it up on the screen there. Right, thanks for coming along.